Folks, here we are with another Pokemon Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle. Now, today it's all going to be post-com, unfortunately, because fiance didn't want me recording my voice so late at night because she was trying to sleep after getting back from Disney World. I tell you what, we had a pretty full day yesterday. Did pretty much every ride at Magic Kingdom. Couldn't get on Splash Mountain because after Space and Thunder, she was done with roller coasters and plus rock and roller coasters too the day before. But we're here today not to talk about Disney World. We're here to talk about this Wi-Fi battle. Now, my opponent Braden is a new member of the Discord server. You guys should join, by the way, if you guys want to battle. I battle just about. If you challenge me, I'm gonna battle you. That's just what it is. They're bringing a unique team. They got a Persian to lead off with right off the bat. So I figured it's probably like, does this version get Technician? I figured a fake out or something was coming, so I was like, alright, well, I can bring in Atlas and then I can get in that. I didn't lead off immediately with Atlas just because I thought they might lead like Excadrill or something. Well, then again, that beats it anyway, but I didn't want to set up rocks and then have to defog him. But then again, I guess I could have beaten the Excadrill. I don't know. I was kind of tired, so I wasn't playing it. I was probably 90% here. They go for the Shadow Claw, and we eat that up. And I'm like, alright, that's a crit. So they ignored the attack drop. And I'm like, alright, that's fine. I'm going to just go for rocks. May as well. They go for the Body Slam. Does absolutely nothing, but we do get the paralysis, so I'm like, alright, that's whatever. I'm just a Landorus, you know. It's much better than my Keldeo or something getting paralyzed, so not too bad about that. So here, I'm thinking, did I go hard into Decidueye? I think I should have U-turned out. I guess I didn't want to risk getting paralyzed. I figured he'd go for a Body Slam again, so I go hard into it, I guess. Maybe they predict me here. They go for the Shadow Claw. And if they did, hey, nice play. Nice play. So, I'm like, alright, well, I can't really Sucker Punch. I can't really Poltergeist, so I'm going to just go for a Leaf Blade here. I only had 3 PP ups left, and I didn't feel like resetting, so I just put 1 into Sucker Punch and 2 into Poltergeist. So we go for the Sucker Punch there to get him low. They go for another Shadow Claw. Decidueye is eating these up, yo. I know it's not stab. I know it's -1, but still. So, gonna go for another Sucker Punch. Maybe I should have predicted and gone for the Leaf Blade here, thinking that they'd switch. But I'm just trying to gauge my opponent's strength. In comes the Mimikyu, of course. I'm like, okay, this is fine. So here, I think, because usually they would go for SD right here. I was thinking for a little bit. Yeah, I go for the Leaf Blade just to break the disguise. And I was like, if they attack me, they attack me. They actually double out, which is surprising. Back out into Persian. I'm like, yo, but this time it's the Alolan Persian. I'm like, alright, this thing's probably fur coat, ain't it? I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot to this thing at all. But we do get some good chip. Some nice chip. So here, I think, do I go Keldeo? Yeah. Because I was thinking they could increase my attack if they go for a dark move, and that could boost my flip turn. Even though I don't have any attack investment, a nice powerful flip turn could do a lot. Because there's no way they're staying in here. I'm thinking that they're going to go out into either Mimikyu or Rillaboom, and I didn't want to risk a 50-50. I guess I could have just gone for Hydro Pump either way, but I go for the flip turn to keep up momentum, and now that it's boosted, I can do some major damage. Back out into Mimikyu, so now we get to break the disguise, so the flip turn attack boost didn't really matter in the end. But, you know, I just thought it was cool. So, get some nice chip off. Break that disguise. I'm telling you, man, these shiny Mimikyus, why are they always my enemy? Good grief. Alright, so now I think we go Gastro. I want to say we do. Yep. Bringing Gastrodon because I was like, alright, I want to show off this thing's defensive capability because this thing is max HP, max defense, bold, so I'm gonna try to go for the Ice Beam on the incoming Rillaboom. They actually go for the Wood Hammer. I'm like, dang it, I forgot all about Wood Hammer. How could I forget? I'm always used to Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, play rough. But they do take a heck of a lot of recoil, though. That is the downside. I'm like, well, since you're so weakened, I'm gonna bring in my Keldeo because Keldeo pretty much just wins once we get rid of the Rillaboom. So, gonna bring it in, gonna go for, I think, Flip Turn, yeah. Yeah, but as they try to get off with a nice sneak to get some residual damage. They told me afterwards they were actually Wide Lens instead of Life Orb because they didn't want Play Rough to miss, which, you know, was fair. I mean, we all remember that infamous Danger Dave versus Caddy battle, man. The frickin' the Mimikyu missed the Play Rough onto the Scrafty and lost the game, unfortunately. But I bring in CTC here. I think all they have left is Rillaboom, Persian, and they have both Persians? And Excadrill. And I want to try to see which Excadrill they are. I'm fairly certain that they're Mold Breaker, but I just want to see, because if they're not, then I can probably wall them. But they are taking a little bit to decide their moves. I'll tell you what, though, it was a really fun battle. I've never seen two Persians going together. It reminded me, I've been playing a lot of chess lately, so it reminded me of like the two bishops or the two rooks. Man, I think I was thinking the two bishops. Alright, in comes Salazzle, and I'm like, alright, this thing probably can't do much to me. So I'm just going to Volt Switch out and see what it does. They go for the Sludge Wave, of course, attacking what's in front of them. And that does a heck of a lot, like, good grief. I know I'm not defensive investment, but still, I was thinking, dang, Salazzle's strong. So, I think at this point, I bring in Decidueye, or do I bring in Warhammer? Yeah, I bring in Decidueye. Right? Because I was like, man, I don't want them to go for a Willow, or for either Will-O-Wisp or Toxic. Mainly Will-O-Wisp, I was thinking, but didn't really run Toxic, so I go for the Sucker Punch just in case. I was thinking maybe their specs, that damage did a lot. I didn't calc it, but they actually withdraw. And I'm like, dang it, I should have just predicted. They bring in Rillaboom. And here I'm thinking, Rillaboom can't really do a lot to me. I mean, unless it has knockoff. And I was willing to, I mean, Decidueye is not doing a lot else here. So if I can, and plus I'm getting a little bit of heal, so unless they have knockoff, I don't think they can kill me. And I don't think they want to lock themselves into Warhammer. They probably want to lock themselves into Grassy Glide. So I go for the Poltergeist here. We outspeed. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. I'm timid, so I outspeed. Or jolly, so I outspeed. Bada bing, bada bing. Look at that damage. And they go for the U-turn. I'm like, okay. So yeah, oh dang, U-turn takes me out. That's right. Alright. So the U-turned out. Dang, Choice Banner U-turn so strong. But we were able to outspeed them and get off some nice damage. People always think Rillaboom's so fast because of Grassy Glide, but they forget it's actually not that fast. So we were able to outspeed and do some nice damage. In comes the Persian, taking the rocks once again. These rocks are doing excellent work for me, I tell you what. I think here, do I bring in CTC again? No, because that's faster. I bring in Atlas, because I'm like, well, I don't want anyone else to take any chip. And I don't want to let Rillaboom in. So I think I go out into this and I U-turn out. I mean, Landorus just really puts a number on their team, unfortunately for them. I can get a nice safe U-turn. If they go for the Body Slam, they're not quite in, but I didn't want them to die to Rocky Helmet. I wanted to get the switch out. That way I could bring Landorus back in later for their Rillaboom once again. So I think all they have left is Alolan Persian, Excadrill, and Rillaboom. So we just got to take those guys out. So is it time for the Warhammer Titan? No, it's time for Keldeo. Because if they bring in their Rillaboom on the Keldeo, I just go Lando. They're going to take Rocks and Rocky Helmet. And then that'll put them in range. Well, they're probably already in range of Sucker Punch from Bisharp. Bisharp is just so strong. I love Bisharp. It's one of my favorite mons. Yep, in comes Rillaboom. So clearly we can't stay in here, and thankfully I got some grassy glide recovery, or grassy terrain recovery, and they didn't, which is great because I don't want them to get any type of recovery. That's no bueno. So in comes Atlas. We're going to lower their attack. We should be able to live 2 grassy glides, I think, from there. But let's see. 94 to... Oh, no, we definitely can't. Never mind. I forgot. Alright. But at the very least, it will be a 2-hit KO from there. So after the Rocky Helmet, they'll be pretty low. Which is excellent for me. And they actually withdraw. They want to save their Rillaboom. For whatever reason. And then so they go into... I guess fearing that I could go Rotom and they would be dead to rocks. Salazzle comes in. They sack off Salazzle, which I'm like, oh, I forgot Salazzle was still alive. Alright, but they still got that Excadrill. And so, and I was also thinking, if they get the Grassy Glide back up again, I mean, I'm bringing in Bisharp, because unless they have high horsepower, I don't think Earthquake can kill Bisharp from full. But let's see. Let's see now. I hard switch out into the boy Keldeo to get that attack boost. And I actually wanted to go Bisharp. They went for the Icy Wind. I was like, yo, imagine if I got that frickin' boost. We would have done swept. I was like, dang it. Dang it. So anyways, gonna go for the oh yeah, we would just go for the Secret Sword at this point, because if they switch, they go for Thunderbolt. I'm like, dang, that surprised me, honestly. I was like, yo, that did a lot. This Alolan Persian put in some work. Almost took out my Keldeo, pretty crazy. After the Icy Wind speed drop. Actually, they probably outsped me anyways with the speed, like 115 or something. Let me look it up. Alolan Persian. That's a good Pokemon too, I need to breed. And so now all they have left is their Rotom, their Excadrill and their Rillaboom. And in comes the Rillaboom now. My Landorus is still alive, so I think I can take you out with a nice and powerful Rocky Helmet. So that's all that we need to cinch the game, and then all we have left is the Excadrill. But I'm pretty sure Keldeo naturally outspeeds Excadrill, so we should be good. Imagine if it was like Scarf or Mold Break or something, that'd be pretty scary. Yeah, base 115. So, back into Landorus. I figure Landorus isn't going to be any use against Excadrill because they can just Iron Head us since we're so low. Yep, there's the Grassy Glide, and we can take him out. And now since Grassy Terrain is up, we can simply bring in our Bisharp. And that should be game, barring any potential Choice Scarf nonsense. I'm trying to remember if I went for a knockoff here or not. So yeah, this actually came down to be a pretty close game because I let my Keldeo get so low. Very unexpected. But I really wanted to go Bisharp. So yeah, I'm just going to go for the safe Sucker Punch. As I do go for the attack. And yeah, unfortunately, it's not a Oko. So if they had high horsepower, that could have been really bad. But then again, I mean, they're not Scarf, so Keldeo just came and killed them after. But still pretty close game here. Just gonna wait for the final attack to go through. Bada bing, bada boom, we take him out. Yeah, so in this game I was still kind of learning how the team worked together, but I got a better idea after this game. So now, after that game, I went on to go challenge Sleepy. So let's see how that turned out. Alright, so going up against Sleepy here, I took a look at their team after I pressed the record button. I was shocked. I was like, wow, they're bringing hyper offense. But the thing is, his playstyle is pretty much all either balance or almost stall. So I was surprised. I was like, is he really going to be playing hyper offense against me? I was like, okay. So here I'm thinking they could lead off with Necrozma or Tapu Koko. So I figured Decidueye wasn't going to be a bad lead. And also I finally get to show off long reach. They can't burn me with Flame Body on their Volcarona, so Decidueye can be a useful mon against Volcarona, even though it's weak to it. But I mean, it could get off a Sucker Punch or something and not have to fear getting burnt, which is excellent. Very excellent for me. So, like I said, they're using Hyper Offense, which surprised me. They lead right off with the Necrozma, and I'm like, alright, this could either be Rocks, or they could be like Autotomized Meteor Beam or something like that. And I'm like, well, I can figure out which one they are right away because of my move Poltergeist. This is crazy. So we're going to go for the Poltergeist. They do have the Prism Armor, which protects them, but I mean, this is a Decidueye, yo. If I was Life Orb, I think this killed, because I'm just Heavy Duty Boots. Look at that damage. Yeah, Life Orb easily killed. Any type of boosting item would have killed it. They go for the Autotomize here. And I'm like, okay. So it's obvious I have Sucker Punch, but still I don't want to get... oh yeah, I go for the Poltergeist again because I figured they might switch. They go into... Yep, Volcarona. So this thing is going to take another Poltergeist. Attack at those Heavy Duty Boots. Bada bing, bada boom. Now from here, I was running the calc, so I forgot to account for the fact that Sucker Punch is so much weaker than Poltergeist, and that it's not stab. I thought it killed from there, and I was thinking, huh, they're probably going to go for... I got the prediction right. They do go for an attack on me, but the Sucker Punch just does absolutely nothing. Look at that. And I'm like, oh crap. Well, at least I got it super low, I was thinking. So they go for that. We do live. My boy Decidueye is living and putting in work, and so now I figure I can go for a Poltergeist rather than setting up or Sucker Punching 6 times. So we do get the prediction right. I figured they would try to get the boost and try to just sweep me, but I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of this, because if they didn't set up, then I could just come in with my Keldeo, who's faster naturally, and easily take care of it. So we had him pinned that way, either way. So I figured it was a safe play because if I got it right, I could keep my Decidueye, and they wouldn't be setting up. Because if I let them get up even one Quiver Dance, and I ran out of Sucker Punches, then the only thing left would be my Bisharp, and that could get burnt, and I don't want it to get burnt. So I figured it's the safest play. In comes their own Bisharp. Now I can't bring in my Landorus, obviously, so I gotta keep that in mind. And I'm thinking I'm probably faster than this thing, and they might try to SD or something, so I might just try to get some chip off. So we go for the Poltergeist on our own. And they're actually Sash. Yeah, I figured something like this, some Sash Metal Burst stuff or something like that. We get some nice chip off as they do go for the SD. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have a Keldeo. Like, you'd have to set up like 6 of those in order to kill me. So here, I think I go for another Poltergeist just in case they try to knock off or something like that. Because Decidueye's already put in so much work, and he's going to continue to do so. So I figured I could at least get some more chip off on this thing, which we managed to do. And they go for the knockoff. And I'm like, cool. So, Keldeo, it can easily live a Sucker Punch and just get off a nice and powerful Secret Sword. So that's what we're going to do, I think. Right. Yep. So, Bisharp is not a problem for me. I have a Keldeo, so we're fine. So, we can easily go for that Secret Sword. I don't think that there's any switch-ins. They go for the Sucker Punch to get off some damage because they may as well. They boost it up. We get that nice Justified boost, but it's not going to do anything for us, really. And we can go for the Secret Sword and take them out. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, with that gone, now we can open up our, open up the way for who? I don't know. The thing is, they've still got, 2 sweepers in the back that we need to take care of, so This game is not anywhere close to over yet. So I figured I'd bring in Atlas. I don't want to bring in Gastrodon because, geez, everything in this game just packs a grass type move, man. Anything that you could wall with a Gastrodon or anything like that, they always just pack grass types. Grass, not wood hammer, man. I'm just tired of it. They actually go for the Reflect. Actually, spoiler, they reveal later that they're not grass knot. They are full setup screens. I'm like, dang it. They have U-turn, but I figured if they're gonna have U-turn, I may as well try to damage them with the Rocky Helmet. Much better to do it with Landorus than Gastrodon. So we get rocks up. Unfortunately, I've lost my Defogger, so I think that's why they waited to get the hazards up. Which, hey, good for them. So here they go for the U-turn. I'm like, alright, cool, you're going to take some nice chip. And whatever comes in is going to take some chip. Both U-turn and Rocky Helmet. Pretty sure they go out into their Blastoise here. Yep, in comes Blastoise. I'm like, okay, cool. That's perfectly fine. I figure they're going to Shell Smash up. So, knowing that they're going to do that, I'm going to bring in my, do I go CTC or I might go CTC and Volt Switch on to Keldeo? Or I think I just go hard Keldeo. I'm like, I need to get some damage off. I know I can get at least 2 Secret Swords off probably. But let's see what happens. And I know I'm going to have to go through. I'm like, man, these screens are annoying, but I can stall them out. That's a good thing. So go for a Secret Sword, and they actually go for the Rapid Spin. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's fine. You're letting me get more chip off. Now they're going to go for a Shell Smash. And they are White Herb, so they're going to remove that stat change. Very unfortunate for me. But Keldeo is going to do the job of whittling them down. So that way, Bisharp can come through with Sucker Punch. Always pack priority on your team, folks. Because that way, you're not going to get swept by any type of setup sweepers. Because, pretty sure... Dang, did they just live on 1? That's so annoying. They got so close. Keldeo was so close to getting him, but he couldn't quite do it. Poor dude. So here, Saka. Oh yeah, I go Gastrodon because I'm like, okay, I could bring in Gastrodon and get him low. Hey, predicting go for the Ice Beam. Like, okay, not bad, not bad. But even though Gastrodon isn't especially defensive, it's full Fizz Def. I mean, Gastrodon is still a Gastrodon. He can still live. So he did the job of keeping my Keldeo healthy and being able to take out this Blastoise. So I'm like, cool. Yeah, but hey, good job on them predicting though, because now look at how low my Gastrodon is. It's nice. That's pretty crazy though. I remember Gastrodon being able to 1v1 my modest Blastoise. Like, they must have been full Spadef. So you can see how much of a difference EVs make. And plus I don't have Toxic, that's the main thing. So in comes the Sceptile. So I went to go check my EVs and just to prove that I was Fizz Def. And I'm going to go Atlas here because all they can do really is try to SD up. And they're not going to be able to do squat to me. And pretty sure their screens are about to run out here. So we lower their attack because they always run physical. They go for the SD. I'm like, okay, cool. That's just fine. Perfectly fine. I think Electric Terrain ran out, so they didn't even get their Unburden. I'm like, dang, why don't you want your Unburden? I'm like, well, I'm going to go for this U-turn. Because your screen is gone, I think. Didn't it just say that? Yeah. They go for the Leaf Blade, which is a decent amount, but they're going to take some nice Rocky Helmet. And then I'm going to U-turn out, and they're going to take some more Chip. Oh yeah, look at that damage. Beautiful. Oh, they're actually weakness policy, not even. Dang. I'm like, okay, well, they're +3 now. So, only thing I have to outspeed this is Warhammer. And I figured, well, they're probably not going to go for. Yeah, there's light screen. They're probably not going to go for any type of setup move here. So I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch to take them out. I've got 8 of them, so we could do this all day. And if anything, I can just go out into Landorus, and then you die to Rocky Helmet. So it's a lose-lose for you, my friend, I'm afraid. So what do they have left? The Tapu Koko and the Necrozma. Yep, in comes Koko. So here I figured Thunderbolt probably. I figure they're going to try to set up screens, so I'm like, if you're going to set up screens, I may as well get off some chip damage. So I go for the Iron Head, as they are indeed going to set up a Reflect. So we get some nice chip off. And do I go for it again, or do I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I go for it again. They actually go for a Thunderbolt here. I'm like, dang, I thought you'd set up another screen, bro. So, another Iron Head. They're in range of one more. And I make a misplay here. I should have just gone for. I was getting greedy. I should have known that they would have tried to go for a light screen, thinking I would Sucker Punch. They got those turns right. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, that's perfectly fine. Your Tapu Koko is super low. Yeah, I go for a Sucker Punch here, and they switch out. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going for him, bro, because you're so low. And I've got 8 of them, like I said, so. Then comes Necrozma. And I'm like, well, I don't want this thing autotomizing. And I'm like, well, should I go for it again? I'm like, I'm just going to go for a knockoff, whatever. They go over the. I'm like, listen, I have a bunch of Pokemon that can easily take you out, so this isn't that concerning to me. So Warhammer could have taken him out there, but it's fine. I didn't want to risk them autotomizing and sweeping me or anything like that. I didn't want to let it get out of control, but it seems they learned from Volcarona. So they adapted to that, which is cool. But we go CTC here, and Volt Switch should easily be able to take them out through screens, because I am offensive. So that's something to keep in mind. And if they go Koko, they die too, so either way we can easily take them out. And then Landorus just takes care of Koko. And that's GG's. So yeah. Sleepy, I think he did a pretty good job for his first time trying to use Hyper Offense. I think the main thing is, one, you need. I thought Necrozma would set up rocks, but I don't know if it had them or not. You need rocks. Screens are definitely cool, but you got to keep in mind priority mons. You got to take out those Pokemon and then sweep. You know, it's like in chess. You don't go around and you don't go head first towards the king with your bishop and your knight before you take out the pawns in front of it and any of the Pokemon defending it. You know, you gotta slowly but surely develop and begin to increase your advantages and imbalances in the mid game, and then take them on in the end game. So there's the game. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out Discord where I got to find these two to battle, and we'll see you guys in the next video.